Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mike's Gaming Gala. We're live, and today we're going to be doing something a little different. I did this last year. Normally, on Saturdays at 2 p.m., we play some games, but I've got the mic out this week, and we are instead this week reacting to the Intellivision Homebrew Awards. We're going to check out the winners. We're going to check out. You know, yeah, who won every category. We're going to talk about it. If you are watching this later after the fact, or if you have to hop off, make sure you come back and watch at least the end bit, because we're going to talk about kind of the Intellivision homebrew scene as well. But first of all, the Retro Bliss Rewind podcast. We do that every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Last week we were supposed to talk about real-time strategy games on the PC, and unfortunately, Brian and Phil both had some power issues. There were some storms going through Ohio. So we had to postpone that. We'll be doing that this week at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So the Intellivision Homebrew Awards, this is something that's done every year. I've already done my voting stream, and then we had a podcast on them. It's something that the community does every year, just to recognize the people who give us the new games for the Intellivision. It's a great thing. I want to thank everybody who's involved in putting together the awards. This is a fun thing that I look forward to every year. I want to thank everyone who is involved with making new games for our favorite system. Programmers, publishers, artists, music folks. If you have anything to do with helping to create these games, that is awesome, and I appreciate you so much. So the actual awards show took place last night on Papa Pete's channel at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am going to put a banner in here, and we're going to keep this up the whole time. If you are not subscribed to Papa Pete has a great channel. He covers mostly Intellivision, but he's been doing a lot of Atari 2600 stuff as well, kind of in the same format as Gen X Grown Up. Yeah, he's been a supporter of the Intellivision homebrew scene for a long time. He's got a big community, and he hosted the awards. So we're gonna bring this up right here. This is the award show. I have not watched it yet. It was very difficult for me to not watch this last night, but I'm going to give it a like, because we appreciate everybody that does this stuff. And you can see I am subscribed. Make sure you are too. Yeah, so let's say hi to the chat before we get into it. Chris Walker says, howdy. Michael Hayes is about to take a short nap. Well, come on, man. You can't wait till 3 o'clock to take your nap. Salvatore, he's on the West Coast, so this is morning for him. Good afternoon, Salvatore. We got Pierre in the chat. Spoiler alert. Come on, man. I specifically didn't watch it so I could react. So apparently Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition is going to do really well this year. I knew that was going to happen anyway. But like I said, even if you have to hop off at some point, if you come back, make sure you come back and you watch the end bit, because that's what I'm going to be talking about, kind of the homebrew scene and all that. So this stream is going to start with me reacting to all the winners of the Homebrew Awards, and we'll talk about individual games. Sounds like we'll be talking a lot about Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. And then I'm going to be talking about the homebrew scene. So Sorry for that. He missed the intro. That's okay, Pierre. I did know because Mike, as Michael Hayes says, is anybody surprised? Every year, one game always sweeps the awards. That's kind of true. I would say that I think it was 2022, possibly, maybe 2021. Coming out of COVID, the awards after coming out of COVID, that's when we had like all the Kai magazine game, like Ninja Odyssey, TNT Cowboy. We had Pandora Incident. We had Anthropomorphic Fort, like all of those. That was such a banger year, whichever year that was, that really any of those games could have won any category. I think that's the last time we had like big surprises. But and that's something that I'm going to talk about a little at the end. There is one game this year that okay, so 2021 was Intellivision, but so maybe it was 2020 or 2022. I'm not sure. But that year when there's just so much gold, really anybody could have won. But that's something that I'm going to talk about. There was really only one game this year that was what I would call super impressive, and that was Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. So it does not surprise me that it does well. But I'm going to start playing this, and we will react to the winners in each category. I'm going to be skipping over a lot. I know in these award shows they do a lot of kind of chatting. There's some off-topic stuff. It's a live event, so we're going to kind of focus on the categories. We'll listen to a little bit of what I say. We'll react to it, and then, like I said, we'll talk about the homebrew scene in general. So let's hit play, and you guys can tell me if the audio is good or not. We'll wait till there's. But I know it usually has to be pretty loud for you guys to hear it well. Hey, Phil, thanks for dropping by. I appreciate it. Right.
If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
Welcome to the 2024 Intellivision Homebrew Awards. Technology.
So I have a feeling this is a lot of Slappy Marsden stuff. Slappy Marsden does like all this AI stuff. I find the AI stuff creepy as all hell. So this is a bit of a fever nightmare for me. Hey, Cannabis. But that's okay. I know like some of it is really, really neat. But this right now, this right here on the right, that's pretty creepy.
Technology is taking over the world.
Welcome to the 2024 Intellivision Homebrew Awards with your host, the Intellivisionaries Podcast.
All right, so we'll have Rick and Christian on.
You are my love and my friend.
Yeah, that's creepy, man. Okay, so here it's going through all the games. So let's there we go. Norseman 2, great game.
You tore out my heart without an
Rail of the Gods, like I said in my voting, very zen experience. Time Pilot, excellent. Mid Warp, a port, but a port of a good game. It's fun. Lone Runner, not the best port of Lone Runner out there, but the source material is awesome. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, Napoleonic Wars. This is so. I'm gonna pause right there. Napoleonic Wars. I honestly think when I was voting, I was really disappointed to not see it, at least in the audio category. There was like 10 audio tracks made by Aiden Toledo for that game. They were great. I thought Napoleonic Wars was better than a lot of the for audio than a lot of the stuff that was in that category. So, and I, Brian's Man Cave. I honestly, I think that's his best game. And Electronite brought in Justin Cheer to do graphics. It was graphically great. Brought in Aiden to do the music, which was awesome. I may be biased because I was involved in kind of the theming of that. But I thought it should have been recognized with a nomination. I don't think it would have beaten Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. But I thought at the very least it deserved a nomination. Next, Coco will be hosting the show. He does like the one with the swimsuit models, to be fair. I haven't seen that one. But swimsuit models are good. AI, but it's AI. Like, they're not real swimsuit models. Hey, Fat Boy. Yes, everybody. I've already mentioned, make sure you go and give a like to the video on Papa Pete's channel. But also, support me. Give me a like here. And Michael Hayes says, yeah, Napoleonic Wars was well done. I felt the same way about the music I wrote for X-Ray. Nobody seemed to notice. I have not played X-Ray yet. I have it. I should play that. I should do a review of it because that was a Good Deal Games release, if I'm not mistaken, right? And Michael Thomason is a very good friend, so I should review that. And you are a friend as well, so yeah. So let's continue. Food Fight. That's also by Brian Pudden. Chris Reed, Hamburgers en route to Switzerland. Super Pixel Bros by Dave Ackers. Buck Rogers by Anonymous. Space Bandits by Anonymous. Lock'em Sock'em by Brian Pudden.
With my hands.
Aklabeth, World of Doom from Atari Age's first Intellivision game by Oscar TG. Beauty and the Beast Pro by David Harley. Brian Pudden, Donkey Kong 3. Eggerland Mystery by Anonymous. I really like that game. Pac-Man Anthologies. I'll quickly pause before it goes away. So this was an Intellivision compilation, Intellivision Revolution compilation collection, or release is what I meant to say, not resist. Michael Hayes, David Harley, Carl Mueller Jr., Brian Pudden, Chris Reed, and Oscar TG. Okay. It's the Intellivision controller design on the swimsuits that I like. Makes me want to pick up a controller. There you go. This was the voice anthology by David Harley. Max It by Sergio Varas. This was, so here's a couple digital only, and Final Round by Sergio. These are two great little games. If you combined them, maybe it would justify a physical release. They are a lot of fun. I played a lot of Max It in the Inti Basic competition. Fun little games. And Sergio, please forgive me if I'm mistaken, but he's the one that made, what's it called? Cat Attack was a version of it as well, but he made Rally X or X Rally for the Intellivision. Yeah, he's a newer programmer, but he's got some good stuff. And the thing is like games like this may not be impressive to like compared to something like Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, but that doesn't mean they're fun. If they may not have the best graphics in the world, they may not be exciting platformers or shooters or something like that, but they are a lot of fun to just pick up and play. Pierre asked what Michael worked on with the Pac-Man anthology. He made Pac-Man DX. And hello, Eggnogsky or Nogsky. Yes, so okay, I wasn't wrong. Sergio did did do the Rally X game, the X Rally game from Intellivision Collector. It is a great version of the game. All right, let's continue.
This indecision. Somebody
That's Star Trek,
call
a strike. Digital only from David Harley. Other digital only, Home Run Super Pro Baseball. Antarctic Tales. Right, and here's a couple of the ones that are only available or only eligible for the physical product category because they're not new games. And congratulations and thank you to the publishers, programmers, and other contributors in the Intellivision homebrew community. Thank you from me as
I
well.
want my Intellivision.
Death Star Strike. Yeah, so it's a hack of Star Strike. The original game. It just makes it Star Wars, which is not a bad thing. Star Wars does make everything better. But if you were to try to sell that, so I've worked in film and television for, 22 years now. There is a really old saying, and pardon my French, you don't fuck with the mouse. So I am not aware of any of these kind of Star Wars hacks ever getting cease and desists, but that is something that I would never, ever even attempt to try and sell. So, I'm not saying don't do it, but just be prepared to maybe be told not to in a very stern way.
I want mine. I want mine. I want mine. Intellivision. I want mine. I want mine. I want mine. I want mine.
Some creepy vibes going on here.
Hey,
Right.
everybody.
Little less
How's it
creepy
going?
now.
Welcome to the 2025.
Hey, we got Jeff
2024,
Hogan go in
I
the
guess,
corner
sorry,
as well.
Television Homebrew Awards getting kind of late in 2025. Welcome us again here tonight. This is my 4th year for hosting these awards on a Friday night in late spring, I guess. And I'm really happy to have the other
Maybe.
host for the Intellivisionaries podcast here with you today. Of course, first of all, C-Mart right down here, who has how many years? This is your 3rd year, isn't it, Chris, hosting the awards with
I
me?
think
I
so.
think.
It's maybe
Yeah.
3, 4, 7. I don't know.
Whatever. But we got him back going again.
So I'll just pause. C-Mart and Rick Reynolds here. They're from the Intellivisionaries podcast, which you can see in the bottom left corner here. Great podcast. It's not the most frequent podcast in the world, but two very well-informed guys. C-Mart in particular, it looks like he's in the underground layer. I believe that's what it's called. And man, I would love to go visit that. He's got a collection that is to be seen. I've seen pictures of it. And Michael Hayes says, it could be worse. He could have been saying, I want my Amico. Yeah. The less Amico, the better.
Again, so that's good. We finally got them going again for this year, which is good too, right? And of course, point the right direction this way. Everybody knows Rick, the Golden Voice Reynolds, right?
Yeah, okay.
The other
That's where we're
member,
going with.
oh, I said earlier this week, well, why not just bring Rick in here and not really give him an option? So I just told him, okay, this is what time you have to show up. We're going to host the awards this year. So
Yeah, that's
he's here.
So Ignogski says, hours of inside jokes last night. Tried my best to follow. That's one thing I've noticed about the Intellivision homebrew community. It's like you kind of have to be in it and following it to really get a lot of these kind of live things. I obviously am, so I find a lot of this great. But for people coming from the outside, how long is a 2 hour live stream? Might be a little tough for them to follow along. So that's part of why I do this as well. I don't only cover Intellivision homebrew. I cover homebrew from all systems. So part of my mission is not only to bring awareness and give my opinions on different games, but also to make it maybe a little more approachable or introduce it to people who aren't in the community, which is going to be a big part of what I'm what I talk about at the end of the stream after this. So we will. I'm watching their intro here, and then we're pretty much going to just skip and look at all the different categories. But I'm gonna let Pete and C-Mart and Rick introduce stuff.
That's how it went.
That's exactly how it went. And last but not least, of course, I absolutely positively want to thank and appreciate so much Jeff from Go Game Go. Down
Jeff's
in the
a great
corner right
guy.
there,
Make sure to
who
check out his
is
channel as
helping
well.
me
Go
as he
Game
has
Go.
every year on here. I think all 4 years, Jeff, right?
Yeah, every year so far.
Every year so far. He is going to be running the chat and watching your chat. I'm just taking a quick look in there myself. I see say if there's any comment problems, Jeff's going to watch the comments. There's tons of people in here already. What do we got? We're up over 20 people in here. Lots of comments. If any of you guys in the stream here, if you're looking to comment, you actually have to have a window open in YouTube in order to be able to add into the comments at the same time. You can't
Start
do
talking
that
about
StreamYard.
how long is
So,
the intro until they get to the
anyway,
first award?
Thank you all in the
Always.
chat for joining us here tonight, because I know this is something that it means a lot to us all because we all love these games and such. Let's take a look. Who all is here anyway, Jeff? Who do we?
Okay,
have
we're
so
gonna
far?
skip it. We're gonna skip his intros because he's just gonna talk to his chat, which you absolutely should do. I've got no problem with that. The whole point of being live is to engage with your chat. See, many people were not happy with the Avatar alike awards. I'll talk about that. You know, I'm aware that Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition pretty much gets a sweep. Michael Hayes says, I can only imagine normies. So I could only imagine what normies would think we're talking about Kool-Aid Man TikTok challenge happening right now. Yeah, there's a lot of inside stuff, and that's going to happen. But for an awards show, I usually like more streamlined. I know for the Atari Homebrew Awards run by Zero Page Homebrew, that's like a 4-hour stream, and there's no way I'm sitting through a 4-hour. I don't have the time to sit through a 4-hour stream. So I do like when stuff is a little tighter, but you know, I have no doubt that this live stream did really, really well for Pete. And Johnny Graphics, never talk to the chat. All right, I'll ignore you. All right, so he's gonna say hi to his chat, and we'll kind of move along until we see something other than them just chatting. Because if you do want that, it is very entertaining. If you are a member of this community, you know, C-Mart, Rick, Pete, they've got a great rapport, and you know, it's an enjoyable watch for sure. But that's not really what this stream is about. So let's take a look here. So Papa Pete's channel is sponsored by Intellivision Collector. So I know that there was some news that was brewing. I think this might be an announcement of that news.
3 highly sought after titles: Norseman, Norseman 2, and finally one of the surprise hits of 2024, Pyramid Warp. Check IntellivisionCollector.com.
All right, so Intellivision Collector has made an agreement with Kote Gamers to bring some of these games that people just can't get anymore, and all 3 of these are great games, to make them more readily available. I would imagine they're ROM only right now. They might get physical releases. So Norseman, I did a review of Norseman my first year doing reviews. Norseman 2, which I have not done a review of yet. I've played, and it's awesome. But Kote Gamers had a lot of issues getting games out, and I've been waiting 2 years. I did finally get a reply from them, so it sounds like maybe in the next couple of weeks they'll be sending me what I ordered. I ordered like 4 or 5 games from them. And Pyramid Warp. So you can get these on Intellivision Collector, maybe even right now, if not very soon. And all 3 of them are worth getting. I know Casey tried playing some Norseman 2 on his show on Monday just to show it. He did not know how to play. I think he did it dirty. Norseman 2 was fantastic. It was clear that he hadn't even played Norseman just because he didn't know the game mechanic. Once you get it, Norseman is very simple, a lot of fun. And Norseman 2 adds some elements to it. You can see there's timer, there's weapon and shield and all that. It adds a lot to it. It's excellent. I really like Norseman 2, and I'm looking forward to doing a review on it. And then Pyramid Warp. It's a port of an MSX game that is also very well done. You got to find the amulet and get out of each level and then work your way to the top of the pyramid. So Pierre says he's going to get Norseman 2 and Pyramid Warp. He already has Norseman 1. I'd love to see a MGG review of Norseman 2. Yeah, I want to bring that character back. I did the war paint and everything. Yeah, the difference between Norseman 1 and Norseman 2, there are many differences. It's the same kind of combat, but at different points in time, like you get gold, I think it is. Is it gold? Or some kind of currency. And then you can go to different characters here, like that's like an anvil with a hammer. There's a wizard. It's been a while since I played, but there's different characters that you can go to and then spend those points to get upgrades, special abilities. You have shields so that, if a monster attacks you, it's not necessarily instant death. There is a lot added to it. It's an excellent game. I am looking forward to reviewing it.
Come in the coming days to purchase your complete digital
in the coming
package,
days,
including manual, overlays, and artwork.
And they are digital packages.
Working hard for the Intellivision Homebrew community once again, getting you access to even more great games. So I think that's pretty big news because these are games that haven't been really accessible for a lot of people, and a lot of people like to play them digitally. And now they're going to be able to play them digitally.
I am going to be contacting Luke shortly. I'd like to get him on our Retro Bliss Rewind podcast because Intellivision Collector is really becoming a hub, particularly for purchasing ROMs. He recently acquired a whole bunch of Intellivision Revolution ROMs as well that you can buy on his site. I think it's absolutely awesome for the community. And I am working on the video. I've shot all the stuff. I might have to shoot some more stuff, but he's also offering no drill modded consoles where you can have a pristine, maybe not aesthetically because they're refurbished machines, but like great functioning Intellivision, one-stop shop. If you are in the United States, the Canadian dollar is so low right now, it would be a bargain for you to hop on there and pick up one of those if you want a modded console. But he doesn't drill any holes into it, and it is his own circuit board that gives the composite out. And you can buy the circuit board separately as well. So if you want to mod your own console, you can do that. All right, let's scroll forward to the first category, which is right here.
So knock on wood, that's the trend of the future. But anyway, without any further ado, let's get on to the first award. Get over to my other screen here. Lots in the chat still going away. Hey, IR Geek, great to see you, man. And let's give out the award for Best Platformer Puzzle Adventure Game.
Best Platformer Puzzle Adventure Game.
Here we go.
Yes, it is, Pierre. Let's look at the nominees. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, Programmer Anonymous. Acreland Mystery, Programmer Anonymous. We're going to talk about this later as well. Lode Runner, Programmer Anonymous. Aquabeth World of Doom, Programmer Osco Toledo Gutierrez. Grail of the Gods, Programmer Oscar Toledo Gutierrez. And the winner is, I think for this one, I'm not sure what I voted for. It's possible I voted for Eggerland Mystery. It's possible I voted for Lode Runner. I think those were my two favorite. But Lode Runner did have bug in it. Best platform puzzle adventure game. The fact that all these are ports, you're kind of judging it by the source material. I think the best source material here was probably Lode Runner. But if you're looking at, the most impressive, there is one here that, from a technical aspect, is head and shoulders more impressive than all the others. And that's Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, which may in fact win this one. Let's see. Oh, it's a tie. Okay. So, Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition and Lode Runner. I am kind of on the record that from a just pure gameplay standpoint, I'm not a big fan of Ghostbusters. This is the Ultimate Edition, but just source material, I was never a big fan of it as a kid. Lode Runner, I love the source material of Lode Runner. I am more than happy with this tie. Again, the Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition is a technical marvel. It's funny because Casey tried to correct me. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition is the largest Intellivision game ever made. And he's like, well, there's a couple others. And I know what's in the pipeline. This is bigger than those. This actually they had to go in and alter code and find efficiencies to make it smaller in order to fit everything that is on this. It is an absolute technical marvel. And Lode Runner, this one, because of the source material, it is nowhere close to the best port of it. It does have that level editor, which I talked about at length in my voting and in our podcast. And I think that's what really makes it something special. But aside from that, like the actual game itself, it's really not the best port in the world, but the source material is awesome. So, congratulations to Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition and Lode Runner, both programmed by different
congratulations to
anonymous
both games.
programmers.
Our first one's a tie. Yes, Coco. First one's a tie, Lode Runner and Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition.
Okay, so let's skip ahead and see what the votes were. So they each had 17 votes. Agerland Mysteries, Acklebeth World of Doom, and Grail of the Gods. Much lower. I would have thought Agerland Mysteries would have been higher on here. I understand why Grail of the Gods wouldn't get too many votes. I love that game, but it is kind of a sit back and relax experience. It's not an exciting game. Acklebeth World of Doom, there's a learning curve on this game. I'll be doing a review of that later. Hopefully when it becomes much more widely available. Right now, you really can only get it at shows. But Agerland Mysteries, I would have thought would have gotten a few more votes. It's really good. Okay, so what's this? More AI? Let's see what the AI is.
3 different versions of Ghostbusters. Yeah, that is part of the problem, Mark, for sure. But anyway, here we go. Best action arcade game.
4.
Oh, did I miss it? Oh yeah. I want to see it. Okay, that wasn't that creepy.
All right.
So there was a comment there, and kind of complaining about the 3 different versions of Ghostbusters that are out for the Intellivision. Now, really, there are 2. There is the Inti Home version of the game that was released as a normal kind of thing, and then it was released as a limited edition, really nice packaging, and then it was released as a limited edition, really nice packaging, just a different color. And then there's Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition was made basically as a response to the profound mediocrity of the Inti Home version of the actual game, not the packaging, the actual game. They ported the Atari version, and it doesn't really look any better than the Atari version. It has spelling mistakes in it that have not been corrected for any version. It's what I would consider to be a half-ass port. And so the response was, we're going to make a version of Ghostbusters that lives up to the franchise. And Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition does in every way. If you can only get one copy of Ghostbusters on the Intellivision, Ultimate Edition is the way to go. And I should also mention, last week, for my 5,000 subscriber special, I gave away, or at least announced giving away, a copy of Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition supporters version for the Intellivision. You cannot get these anymore. They are sold out everywhere. If you want to buy one on eBay, even if you find it listed, it'll be expensive. And this is a supporter edition. There will be another edition coming out, but it's not coming out until 2026. Retro Dean 66 won the draw. I have replied to his comment where he entered. I have posted a post on my channel trying to find him. I am going to ask Casey to mention it on his show on Monday. But if I cannot get a hold of him by the end of next week, I will redraw. I am not going to sit on this. I'm going to give this away to somebody as a thank you for 5,000 subscribers. So there is still hope. If you didn't win that draw, there is still hope for you. But hopefully we can get a hold of RetroDean66. If you're watching this, contact me. My email is in the description of every single video of mine on my site. The Atari Lynx port of Lode Runner looks the same. Yeah, they all look the same. My disappointment with the Intellivision version was the AI for the guys was kind of lowbrow, and and there was only 40 levels, but the level builder helped balance that. Hey, Mr. Baseman, and yes, I'm saying there is still a chance, but I'm going to give Retro Dean 66 every chance to claim his prize, because I know I would, like, if I had entered, I would be kicking myself if I missed that. So are we about to? Okay, let's
move on to the next category, and that is Best Action Arcade Game.
Best Action Arcade Game.
Another interesting category. Yeah. Well, let's just trying to find the right spot here. Here it is. I got the spot. It's the 3 different versions of Ghostbusters. Yeah, that is part of the problem, Mark, for sure. But anyway, here we go. Best Action Arcade Game.
4.
And the nominees are Donkey Kong 3 by Brian Puddin. He added some stuff to this, conveyor belts from different levels. Time Pilot by Anonymous. This is what I voted for, I believe. Buck Rogers by Anonymous. Pac-Man Anthology. A bunch of smaller games, but good value putting them all together. Pyramid Warp. I might have voted for Pyramid Warp on this, although I really do like Time Pilot as well. And the winner is Time Pilot. Congratulations, Anonymous and Intellivision Revolution. Yeah, Chris says it's got to be Time Pilot.
All right, congratulations to Rev and Intellivision Revolution.
So again, a whole bunch of ports. And so when you're judging, what's the best arcade or action game, you're judging the source materials. The most important part of any port is picking a good game to port. And Time Pilot does feel really good on the disc. I have no problem with that winning that category.
Time Pilot.
And we're getting almost to 40 minutes here, so we're going to skip right to.
Very much.
Okay, we're going to see what the
Or
votes
the
were.
price of admission, are they still available?
Pyramid Warp was number 2. Time Pilot almost double the votes. So it was kind of a runaway victory for Time Pilot. Pac-Man Anthology and Buck Rogers Planet of Doom kind of bringing up the rear. Donkey Kong 3, I did appreciate what Brian did trying to add more to it. But much like Disney, you don't mess with Nintendo. I would like to see less of this moving forward. That's just me personally. That's not to say that they're not great games. It's just, do we really have to brand it with something from a company that tends to be pretty litigious? Probably not.
Is Revolution still dropping copies of those?
We got the Three Stooges there.
like that. That was a great pack.
Slappy Marsden did a whole pile
Great
of little
deal. More people
interstitials
should buy it
here.
If and when Rev puts lists them again on YouTube.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Right on. Okay,
Play it. I
so
want to see it.
let's move on.
I love the Three Stooges.
Going on to our next category. So here we go.
If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
I mean, yeah. All right. So, best port conversion. This has to be Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. So, when you're talking about best port conversion, that's the one category that you get to completely eliminate what the source material is. You're looking at the quality of conversion. You're looking at the quality of the port.
Conversion.
So, let's see what the nominees were. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, Programmer Anonymous. Time Pilot, Programmer Anonymous. Buck Rogers, Planet of Zoom, Programmer Anonymous. I do know who these programmers are, but we respect anonymity. Eggerland Mystery, Anonymous. Loadrunner, Anonymous. The winner is, I don't even have to look. Ghostbusters. That is by far the best quality, the best effort, the most effort put into one of these ports. Well-earned victory. Is he going to show the votes? Yeah, over double second place. Time Pilot, I am more than happy with. Do we have the rights to the music from Bewitched? I do not. Maybe I will be. This live stream will be demonetized. I am okay with that. This is something that I do for the community, and this is something that Pete does for the community. But I imagine that if it meant that he got copy claimed, he probably wouldn't use it. So it's probably something that YouTube allows, at least for now. I'm surprised that Eggerland Mystery only got one vote. That's a little disappointing. Eggerland Mystery is better than that. Planet of Zoom, no surprise. I'm pretty vocal about it's not a bad game, just it's an uninspired port. Loadrunner, it's got some issues, but again, the source, if you're not separating source material, this is, of all these, Loadrunner Time Pilot, probably the best two source material, at least from my personal perspective. Time Pilot, strong showing. It's an excellent port. It's absolutely what I would put at number 2, but no surprise with Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition winning that one. Is this the bikinis that Michael Hayes was mentioning? Oh, there you go. Oh. No. Creepy, especially with like the placement of the disc. No. No. Hey, whatever turns your crank, Michael, but no. All right. Let's move on to the next category. Okay, so next category looks like it's best packaging. Best physical product. This is a tough one. So Burger Time for Minty Home. Do I? No. We've been going for 44 minutes. I'm not going to go on a rant about this again. This is complete bullshit. This is complete bullshit. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition has very cool kind of inside of the package with the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man coming up. Great artwork. This one here, so this is what I mentioned. This was the white box version of that special packaging, but it was just the same thing in white, which is why I didn't vote for it. This Ghostbusters won last year for physical product, and I thought it was well earned. This is basically the same product, and I just didn't want to see it get voted twice. I would not be surprised if this wins, because it is the best packaging here. It's just, for all intents and purposes, the same packaging that won last year. And Michael says he would have put a power LED at the crotch so he knows when they're turned on. All right. Pyramid Warp. Kote Gamers, despite their issues, they did have really nice physical packaging. Aklabeth World of Doom. I voted for this one simply because I really like the artwork. That's not to say it's the best physical package. And the winner is Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. Okay. Great package. Came with a sticker. That's extra. Outside of that kind of special packaging for the Inti Home Ghostbusters, I didn't really think that there was anything overly special here. So it's probably people voting just based on the artwork and having that gatefold box, which is always nice. That's my favorite way to get Intellivision homebrews. And having the artwork on the inside gave it the victory. So, wow, I did not expect Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition to win this category. Not to say it didn't deserve it, but when you guys were talking sweep, you were not lying. This is the one category I didn't think it would get. So,
So congratulations again to the
showing that
Ghostbusters Ultimate
Burger
team
Time
for winning the
bullshit.
award for best physical product.
That full on makes me
2024.
angry. The
Down to
votes.
some of the categories in best.
I am so glad this didn't win. It is a flimsy, cheap box with cardboard overlays, doesn't even have a manual, reprint of a pamphlet from a few years ago, and a 3D printed cartridge with a light, which I guess excites people, but and they were charging over €100 for that package where they didn't have to pay a programmer because they went and just stole the original ROM. Is that really what you want from your homebrew community? Makes me angry. And if you don't see the difference between just stealing the game and even publishing a hack of the game or using the same IP or porting an IP, we're all pirates, but pirates have a fucking code. Not Burger Time Special Edition was a travesty. Honestly, so angry. Chocolate Mine came with a good jawbreaker. Okay, let's be more positive. That's bullshit. All right.
And I'm really going to attribute it to the fact that more people would have had and been familiar with Ghostbusters Ultimate than Burger Time.
Yeah, and
Have been grown up by the age of 50.
Slappy, you're a monster. Man.
Love that clip.
Yeah, Rick's response right there, just
Yeah, well, you ain't seen nothing yet. And next up, we have the
Best
award.
Music, Sound of Music. More than anything else, Napoleonic Wars should have been nominated in this category. They were snubbed. Snubbed, I tell you. Pyramid Warp. Programmer, Spectre Man, which really is anonymous. Aklabeth World of Dune. Oscar TG. And that's Aiden Toledo, I believe. Pumpkin Bakery, Oscar TG and AT. David Harley with a voice anthology. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, Anonymous. I mean, you guys mentioned that Ghostbusters pretty much dominated the awards. I'm assuming that they won. They 1000% deserve to win this category. Even if Napoleonic Wars was there. ECS enhanced music, 20 voices, great tunes, great versions of the tunes. Just very impressive. Of course. I want to see what the votes were. What were the votes? Yeah, it wasn't even a competition. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. And I know, people are complaining about the sweep. There is a huge. Like, there's a reason it's swept. From a technical standpoint, whether you like the original Ghostbusters or not, you cannot deny that this was a technical marvel. And so it blew everything else away, as it should have. That's not to say that these don't have great audio. Napoleonic Wars, honestly, I would put it number 2 in this category. It should have been nominated and it should have won number 2. But Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition absolutely should have won number 1. Get him, yeah, it's. When it first came out, I almost made a video about it. Because I actually commented when Casey showed it off, and I got attacked by a whole pile of Italian people, which is fine. I'm happy to fight. But Dino asked Casey to remove my message, so he just deleted it. And it's his house, and I totally understand that Casey doesn't want to get involved in controversy. So, he even mentioned it to me. He's like, Dino's asked me to take it down. Is that all right? I'm like, it's your channel. You don't have to ask me. So that's fine. And I decided to just let it go. But damn. And yeah, if I want to stir up controversy, mention Gyrus. That was before I was covering things, so I will stay out of that. Mr. Bassman trying to stir stuff up. Yeah, the Ghostbusters music was great. I liked the lyrics displayed on the title screen. Yeah, that was great. They had the little bouncing ball. They had me yell Ghostbusters as one of the voices, but they did not have me sing the entire song, which is really for the benefit of everybody.
Oh, it was interesting.
All
So it was
right.
great to have
So
games like
moving
that,
right
just take it and just use
along.
the voices, which already existed.
Wait,
in
was there
different
another
ways,
interstitial that I missed here?
A Calabath and Pumpkin Bakery. Good to see Pumpkin Bakery in there.
Excuse me, was you got that up here?
I was really happy to see
Okay,
Pumpkin
let's
Bakery
just
in
go
there.
right
Of
to
course,
best graphics.
Best graphics. Here we go.
Team art disappeared. Nominees: Acklebeth, World of Doom, by Oscar TG. Pyramid Warp, Spectre Man, which is anonymous. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition by Anonymous. It's the winner. It's got to be the winner. Grail of the Gods, Oscar TG. I love this game. I don't love it because of its graphics. It represents what it does really well. I think this is a number 2, Time Pilot from Anonymous. Winner is, surprise, surprise. Yeah, Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. Graphically, it's phenomenal. There's cutscenes. It's an enhancement of the Commodore 64 version, which already looked pretty good. I would argue that this version of the game looks better than the NES one. Somebody made that comment when I was doing my voting, and I agree. It's more colorful. It and all the cutscenes and stuff. It looks absolutely phenomenal. And where's the? There we go. Like you can see, it wasn't even a contest. I would say that Time Pilot should probably be number 2. I would probably put Pyramid Warp number 3, then Acklebeth, then Grail of the Gods. But it just absolutely conquered this category, as it should. So let's go. Oh, hey, we got... that one's kind of cool. That one wasn't creepy. I know I missed one. Was there another? I do kind of... Oh, there it is. Is that the... That is. Did he animate the catalog
Let's move
picture?
on to the next one. Where am I going here? Give me a moment. And remember, I told you to that you hadn't seen anything yet.
Oh no.
If you haven't grown up by the age of 50, you don't have to.
That one's pretty cool. Their thumbs moving around looks kind of creepy to me. That one's pretty cool. I'll give him that one. That one, and then Nolan Bushwell and Keith one. That was pretty cool. So, yeah, if he does that, I'm checking right out. Is Time Pilot available in ROM? I believe it is on Intellivision Collector. I can actually quickly Intellivision Collector. Let's look at their digital stuff. I'm just gonna, because that's something that we really do. Oh, digital downloads. Let's go to digital downloads. We're looking for Intellivision Revolution releases. Is Time Pilot one of them? I'll continue to look here. Unfortunately, that looks like that's Time Pilot's not one of them. That's unfortunate because it is an excellent game. That catalog one is awesome. Yes, it absolutely is. All right, so game of the year. Let's take a look at the nominees.
Without any further ado, let's get to it. Here are the nominees and the winner for 2024 Game of the Year. Here we go.
So, Egerland Mystery, programmed by Anonymous. Great game. Aklabeth World of Doom, Oscar TG. Good game, big learning curve. Good game. Pyramid Warp by Spectreman, which is Anonymous. Good game. Report, good game. Load Runner. Great source material. Decent execution, programmed by Anonymous. Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition, programmed by Anonymous. Rail of the Gods, Oscar TG. Great game. Not Game of the Year material, but great game. I love it. Norseman 2, Carlos Madruga. I love this game. It's so good. I'm looking forward to reviewing it. Lock'em Sock'em by Brian Pudden. Why the hell is that in this category? Not that it's badly done, but it's Lock'em Sock'em. Time Pilot by Anonymous. I always laugh when I see Block'em Sock'em for anything. Buck Rogers by Anonymous. Shouldn't be here either. And the winner is... Is anyone really surprised? So Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition sweeps every category that it's nominated in. I would say that's surprising, but again, let's talk about this. Of all the games, I think, and we're gonna, so I'm gonna move on. We're gonna talk about kind of, do they show what the votes were? Oh, maybe they don't for this one. That's a shame. Maybe we could go on Atari Age and check. So let's Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition should have won Game of the Year. In my personal opinion, it's not the most fun game that was released in 2024. It is far and above the most impressive. And the Game of the Year category should be about stuff that pushes the limits. And Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition pushed the limits. I was very vocal. I don't like how it was sold, kind of the campaign method. It wasn't a Kickstarter, but it was, if we sell 100 copies, we'll make it a physical thing and you get a special edition and all that. I was not, they did for the other, but I kind of scrubbed through. Yeah, there's a flash there. If they do, they don't show them for very long. Yeah, I'm not sure they showed them on this one. Anyhow, we'll bring me up full now. And we can take this down now. So it's no surprise to me. People have complained that Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition swept the awards. And I can see why. You want to see variety in your awards. But the only game this year that I really thought was truly, truly impressive was Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition. We had a ton of games where the programmer was anonymous. Why is that? It's because almost all of these games were ports. There's nothing wrong with ports. But you'll notice that we didn't have a best original game category. And that is a category that I do strongly believe. And if I know some of the committee members are viewers of mine, I strongly believe that best original game should always be a category, provided you have a minimum of 3 games. But even if they are like, Max It, I believe that's an original game. If it's not, I apologize. The stuff that Harvey Decline's putting out there, he puts out some original games. I believe they don't qualify for 2024. But, he puts out some original games. That's what I would really like to see. So if you're talking about, you can make the greatest ports in the world. Dragon Quest, I voted for it for Game of the Year. It was a fantastic game. But obviously, the source material, I'm a fan of Dragon Quest. Ports only appeal to people who are already bought into the Intellivision homebrew community. It's, I get to play my favorite game on my favorite system. And that's awesome. That should absolutely continue. The stuff that I still get asked about by people who don't have Intellivisions or are just getting into it, the games that I'm always asked, it's always the same games. It's Pandora Incident, it's Operation Cloudfire, TNT Cowboy, Anthropomorphic Force, Star Mercenary, Ninja Odyssey. And the one thing that they all have in common is they're original games. That's what's going to draw people in. Now, they borrow heavily from other games. Don't get me wrong. TNT Cowboy is a Western Bomberman with RPG elements. Star Mercenary is Bosconian with an upgradable ship. Ninja Odyssey is Adventure Island or Wonder Boy if you're a Sega guy. But with changes. That's fine. That's still an original game. Oh yes, absolutely. Okay, so let me look back here. So there's so yeah, maybe I guess they missed the vote count on that one. If there's a steady paycheck in it, I'll believe in anything you say. That is Winston Zeddemore from Ghostbusters. Yes, please hit the like button. So Casey agrees. It's an important category, and I think it is the most important category because that's what's going to draw people in. We're a bunch of middle-aged guys with passion for a system that came out 50 years ago, almost. How do we attract people to that who didn't grow up with it? I didn't grow up with it. I'll tell you how I was attracted to it. It's homebrew. And it was, wow, okay, I had an Intellivision. The original library is okay. There's some really great games in the original library, but it's certainly not the strongest original library of any second-gen console. But there are now, double the amount of homebrew games available than there were original games? Almost double. Homebrew is the reason to get an Intellivision in 2025. And the best of the homebrew is new stuff. And I know why it is not the most common stuff out there. I'm not delusional. Ports are easier. You do not have to think up of anything new. You just, okay, I'll copy that and I'll make it. They come in various skill levels or quality levels, but they're easier to do and they have name recognition. Somebody who's already brought into the Intellivision homebrew scene is going to be like, wow, I always wanted to play Time Pilot on the Intellivision. Now I can. And that's awesome. But somebody who doesn't have an Intellivision isn't looking at Time Pilot on an Intellivision and thinking, oh, I got to get that. They're thinking, oh, I already have that on my other systems. I'm sure it's great, but that's not a reason to get an Intellivision. A reason to get an Intellivision is new stuff. Michael Hayes says Pensate wasn't original, but the original game was highly obscure. That's another thing, like Police Avenue Redux, which just recently came out, and I know William has got more shells and carts and boards now, so he's selling those again. Contact Electronite if you want a copy of Police Avenue Redux. Incredibly obscure game, and it's made better. I loved Pensate. Pensate was my vote for the Inti Basic competition. Pensate was great. Yeah, we should have more original games, and that's that's easy for me to say. I'm not a programmer. I'm not a publisher. Sor of Galdonthur. Publishers are listening. Yes, Luke. And I'm going to be contacting you soon. I want to get you on our podcast. That is, by the way, for those who don't know, that is Luke Boudreau. He is Intellivision collector. So, and we've talked about you and how you're kind of becoming a hub, especially for ROMs, which is awesome. And Intelligent Gamer has been a member for 11 months. Little Man Computer, I'd say, is original. Too bad there aren't enough Tudor Vision owners to sell copies to. That's why I put it out for free. Well, Casey's got one. People already want the game ports. Yes. Yeah. And within the Intellivision community, and it's safer. You've got name recognition. And Defender of the Crown, like Defender of the Crown is a licensed port. There's nothing wrong with ports. I know I get a rap for being down on ports. I am not. I love the ports, but I've already bought in. I have an open invitation to anyone out there. Programmer of any skill, publisher, somebody who does artwork, somebody who does music, someone like, artwork would be like Justin Cheer, or music would be Aiden Toledo. If you are interested in making something original, if you have an idea, I will do absolutely everything I can to support you. I will play test your games. I will give you feedback. I will brainstorm with you. I will contribute my voice or convert voices for you. I don't have the full conversion. I can't make it into code. William can do that, but that's something he probably would help you with. If you're a programmer and you're interested in making something original for Intellivision and you don't have the connections, I know the big programmers and I know the big publishers. If you're looking for connections, I will connect you with publishers, programmers, artists. And when your game comes out, whether it be a ROM or a physical package published with somebody, I will support the hell out of it. I will show it to people. I will let everybody know. Much like I did with Police Avenue Redux. The programmer of Police Avenue Redux, Carlos Madruga, he reached out to me and sent me that ROM, and he's like, what do you think of this? I gave him some feedback. I didn't really give him some feedback on how to improve it. It's a port of an MSX game. And I helped him pitch that to Electronite. And I was honest. I'm not saying I'm going to sit here and lie for you. But I was honest. I said Police Avenue Redux, at least in the way that it had been presented to me, is going to be a cult classic along the lines of Utopia. It may not get the best sales because it's not a shooter. It's not, some fast action kind of game. But there's something there that if you are willing to learn the game, it is addictive. It is something you can play over and over and over and over and over again and have a different experience every time. it will be a critical success. As of right now, there haven't been a ton of homebrews released in 2025, but as of right now, that is my game of the year. And based on that recommendation, and probably some convincing from Carlos, William picked it up, and Electronite published Police Avenue Redux, and I think it's been received quite well. I will support you, and I will brainstorm with you. I don't require any payment. I don't require even credit, although it's always nice to see my name in the credits of a game. I just want to, and that's why I think the category should be here. And it should always be here, best original game. We want to support everybody, whether you're making a port or a hack. Like the stuff that David Hardley does is awesome, but it's for people who are already bought in. All these ports, like how many times did I say anonymous as a programmer? It's because it's not their game, and they know it's not their game. And not that it happens, but if somebody was to come with a cease and desist, they want some plausible deniability. We should, as a group, we should support original stuff as much as we can. And I want to do that. So anybody who wants to contact me, bounce an idea off me, ask me for help with something, I will do everything I can to help you. And I will put you in touch with people if that's what you need. My email is in the description of every single one of my videos. That is my preferred contact method, but there's also my Facebook page. There's also my Atari Age account. I think from a value standpoint, 2024 was a good year. When you're paying $60-$70 for a cartridge, you want value. I think the Pac-Man Anthology is a good example of that. Voice Anthology is a good example of that. Individually, there's stuff that shouldn't be in a cart. But when you put them together, they're great. It's a great compilation. It provides value for that money. It was not a great year for originality. It just wasn't. And not every year needs to be. Not every game needs to be an original masterpiece. But it is something that I think we should support more, because that's what's going to draw people in. Defender of the Crown is impressive as a port. Get in line, Mike. Oh, having Luke on. Yeah. I mentioned it to the guys. I do want to have him on, and they all agreed. And Michael Hayes has a number of four-player party game ideas in the pipeline. I really like the fact that Caleb Garner, 8-Bit Widgets, is coming out with that adapter. ECS is not something that tons of people have in order to play 4-player games, but that's going to really broaden what can be made. Yes, I will ring you. Great timing for that. Yes. And leaving soon. Glad I caught this night live. Last night, I got home late for the Papa Pete show. So I appreciate having you here, sir. And we should talk, because you programmed some good stuff. And I was playing a game that I had never played before that you made that is similar to a game that I loved. I'd love to talk to you about that, about fleshing it out. And that could be a really good thing. In Teleport. Luke says 2025 will be extremely busy for Intellivision Collector. He's listened and heard the community. Things will be getting very exciting in the next few weeks. Save up your pennies, kids. Intellivision Collector has been becoming a hub for Intellivision Homebrew. I think there are a couple publishers that really do it right. Intellivision Collector is number one simply because of that website that they have. I would say that Electronite and Homebrew Inc. The reason I say that these three are probably my favorite is that they'll publish a game and it's just available. It's always available. And that is a big thing. I hate doing a review of a game and saying, you can't get this anymore. Go on eBay and spend extra money. I want them to be able to go to the publisher with Electronite and Homebrew Inc. That means an email or a Facebook message. And with Luke, you don't even have to talk to Luke. If you don't like Luke, you can buy anything you want from Intellivision Collector. You just go onto the site, click buy, put your info in the shopping cart, and it'll be mailed to you within a couple days. Well, it'll be sent within a couple days, depending on where you are. Obviously, there's, however long it takes to get through the mail. But yeah, so open invitation for original stuff. Not that I don't like the ports, but I just think as a community, I want to do everything I can to support original guys, original games, and original ideas. I even have some ideas. I fleshed a couple of them out. I might be talking to some programmers soon. Again, I don't need to be paid. I'd love a copy of the game when you're done, but I would like to see the Intellivision Homebrew community as strong as possible. I think it's stronger now than it was a year ago at this time, based on the value of what came out. I just want to promote originality. And if the committee could take one suggestion from me, it would be to always have an original category. And even if there's only 3 games in it, original category is something that I think should be supported at all times. And maybe we'll encourage more people to make original games. So Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition sweep, no surprise. This thing is super impressive. Retro Dean 66, I'm going to continue to try to get you to respond to me. You won the draw, but if I can't get a hold of you next Saturday, I'm going to draw a different name, because I don't want to hold on to this one. I want to give it to one of you guys. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I appreciate all of you guys. It's been fun. I have no complaints about, honestly, the Ghostbusters Ultimate Edition sweep. Hey, maybe this year, in television, Luke mentioned he's releasing a whole bunch of cool stuff. Maybe this year it'll be more of a competition. We've already had Police Tavern Redux. We have a reissue of Sorrow of Galdon Thur, which is a great game, but it'll only be eligible for packaging if it gets nominated for anything. But hey, maybe we'll have some more competition like that one year that had all those Kai Magazine games. But I hope you enjoyed this. If you haven't checked out the Atari Age forums, the Intellivision section, hop in there, talk to the guys. Everybody here is accessible. This Tuesday, we're talking about real-time strategy games for PC, mostly retro from like the 90s. I believe we'll have the Intellivision Gamer on. He was a big real-time strategy guy. I was back then, not so much now, but that's going to be a fun one. That's at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. And yeah, I hope you guys all have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Mike's Gaming Gala. Bye, guys.